Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today it may look cloudy outside, but I have quite a treat for you inside. I'm going to teach you how to shop the grocery store. I'm going to teach you how to find the best value, where are the foods to avoid, and what are the foods to throw in your cart. It's going to be a great day, and I can't wait to share with you God's recipe for excellent health. If you're new to our channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe, because I am here to teach you three things. One, how to be confident in your health. We're going to talk about that today. Number two, how to be confident in the kitchen. And number three, how to be confident in how much God loves you. Now, as you go into the grocery store, the first thing we want to know is, do you have a list? Most of the time I don't have a list, but I know what I need to put together the best meals, and I'm going to teach you that. Also, many times people are concerned about the funds that they have. How much money do they have to spend on groceries? And as we all know, groceries are definitely going up in price. So I'm going to teach you how to do the value. But here's the most important tip for you to take away when you go into the grocery store. And that is, God knows the desires of your heart. He's even clapping with the thunder outside. He knows the desires of your heart. He knows your budget. And He can help you find the specials, find the ingredients that you need to put together a healthy meal. Never underestimate the power of what God can do, and never underestimate how He can stretch your dollars to meet the needs of your family. That is what He does best. So remember, we go in with our request to be made known to God, but we always cover it with the praises of thanksgiving. So today is going to be an amen day. We are going into this store knowing what we need to pick up and wanting to get the best value. So remember, make a list if you have time, and that's always best. Stick to your list, no impulse buys. And number three, remember, give Him the praises of thanksgiving as He goes with you through the store. No matter what grocery store you're shopping, there's always going to be impulse buys the moment you walk in. And if you walk in hungry, these are going to fill your cart, and you're going to get home and 2 days later have nothing to eat. So be very careful. Yes, these are also what is trending at the time and what is seasonal. This is going to help you if you're wanting these items, but if you're not wanting these, be sure and walk right by and look for the items that are on your list. Now, it helps to understand a grocery store and why different products are positioned in different places. Consider it just real estate. Companies pay a certain amount of money to be in a certain place in the store. Everything is about real estate. It's about where is it located. So the companies that are putting out these products or putting out the chips have paid a certain amount of money to be in this eye-level place. So keep in mind, is this an item that was on your list? Because they've paid a lot of money for you to see this first when you walk in the store. The same is true of end caps. End caps are what you see at the end of the aisles. Those are higher ticket real estate, so they pay more money to get your attention to buy those items. And we'll talk about how things are placed in the levels of the store and each of the shelves, and that's going to help you make better purchases as well. Every grocery store is going to show you the produce section first. It is the most beautiful section of the entire store, with all of the colors and vibrancy and textures. So take advantage of this and find some produce that's going to be good for your family. Also produce that your family is going to eat. Now let's go through this section and see what special buys we can find. Now in the produce section, you're going to find the greens. Leafy greens are so nutritious, and we need them in our diet. In fact, I want you to eat 7 cups minimum of vegetables per day. Well, when it comes to leafy greens, you're going to have organic, you're going to have the non-organic, you're going to have the packaged just as it is, and you're going to have the pre-cut. All of these are different price points. But let me show you just what the different price points are just between this organic romaine and this non-organic romaine is only a difference of 40 cents. So sometimes you may be thinking, well, organic is too expensive. Not so much today as it used to be years ago, because all of the grocery prices have risen, and the non-organic has actually risen more than the organic, which is strange, but it's how things are happening. So go back and take another look at organic. But when you shop lettuce, you want to make sure it looks really good. Now these two packages, this looks like it has a lot more, but these leaves haven't been cleaned off, and these leaves have. So you actually have more ready to go in this package than you do in this. You're going to have some discard in this package. Now, when you shop for these packages, you want to see if there's any decay at the bottom, and how green the leaves are. That's going to make a difference on how long you're going to be able to keep this produce at home. Another point to remember is the bags they come in are very good to store the lettuce in. How many times have you been in the grocery store and there's this huge trash can and everyone is peeling off the husk and the little tiny fibers off the corn? Do you ever wonder if it's worth that to do it, or should you just buy it already like this, or even like this? Well, if you are grabbing this to go instead of doing it this way, you're spending more than double for your corn. So I say take this home just like this, have fun peeling it off. Remember the old days when we had to do it that way, and enjoy the corn. If you're in a budget and you really need to be cost conscious, then this is going to be 59 cents, whereas these are going to be almost $1.29 a piece. So think about that when you're feeding your family. One of the reasons I like shopping Dierberg's is they always have a great supply of mushrooms. Mushrooms are so beneficial for our health because of the beta-glucan effect that they give us. They're also a good source of protein. So as we look in what they have here on display, we have just the huge portobello mushrooms. You could just turn this into making this into a burger. You could stuff it. You could do so much with it. They have the cremini they have, and also notice they're a product of the USA. That's important to know too. Shiitake does so much with brain health, and then we even have some other mushrooms. So you've got them where they're not sliced, you have them with their sliced. We have the white mushrooms, those are still just as nutritious. And as you go all the way up, they're beautiful display. Even at the very top, we have some dehydrated mushrooms. These are just as nutritious. We've just eliminated the water. They can be rehydrated in any of your soups or gravies, and then you will get the value of that for your health. Now we did a price comparison about green beans here in this store. Sometimes when they're on sale like this, like 2 for $5, this could be a good value, but you don't know until you have gone and priced out the loose green beans. Actually, for today, this is our better values to buy them pre-packaged because of the sale price. The grocery stores are doing a fabulous job now of helping you to put together your own meals. Here we have just some regular iceberg lettuce, and you say, well, what's the Parmesan cheese doing right next to the iceberg lettuce? It's to teach you how to put together your salads or to give you ideas. Notice behind that we have our tomatoes. So we're showing you in the store, they're doing this to help you out, give you food ideas because we know you're in a hurry. What are some great food ideas to putting together the best salad? Well, right here on this whole display is your salad ingredients that would please everyone in the family. So here you have some of your roots. So you've got ginger root, you're going to have a turmeric root. These are priced by the pound. And you may say, Annette, I can't do that. That's too much for my budget. But this is by the pound. You don't have to buy this whole piece. You can actually just break off just the amount you want just to try ginger in your smoothies. So don't be afraid of the price. It's by the pound. Pinch off what you want to pay for and take that to the checkout. If you've ever wanted to price out bagged lettuce, like we just showed you the bagged romaine, versus you making your own salad, here's what I want to show you. So if you were to take your own head of romaine lettuce, you would add in just a couple radishes, add in some tomatoes, some cucumbers, some Brussels sprouts, and some green onions. Your salad for the entire family is only going to cost $4.40, whereas the bagged romaine was also $4 and all you have is romaine. So think about making the salad yourself. I know it's going to take a few minutes more, but you're going to be able to feed the entire family a very delicious salad for less money. When you're shopping the grocery store, it's important to understand organic versus non-organic, because how it's displayed has to be done so in a very exact way. Now what Dierberg's has done here, for one, this display is so gorgeous. I mean, this kale is some of the greatest kale I've seen in a long time. We're also in springtime, so your leeks and your onions are coming out into just a beautiful display. We've got some just gorgeous, we've got kale, we've got carrots, we've got everything. So they have to be in a category with themselves. Years ago, the organic would be at the top and the non-organic would be at the bottom, and that was okay, because as the water is mist down on the vegetables, it can hit the organic first and then the non-organic. But you cannot have non-organic above the organic, because at that point the non-organic pesticides are going to rinse onto your organic pesticides. So if you're in a store that's not quite as diligent as Dierberg's is, make sure you don't buy an organic at the bottom below a non-organic. Now when it comes to buying garlic, this gets a little bit more difficult because we want to know where is the product grown. Now we have one here from Spice World, and we have a loose setting garlic. They both might look good to you, but yet neither one is labeled where they're from. So in this case, I would actually go and talk to the produce manager and say, where were these garlic grown? Because I only want USA garlic. This is from Spice World, and it's telling you where it's manufactured, but it's not telling you where it's grown. So it would be a no. This is a good option, but I still want to know, is this a USA garlic? And when it comes to buying potatoes, what's most popular nowadays, is it steam ready? Is it microwave ready? And so that's why we have these packages. They're a quick impulse buy. They're a grab and go. Hey, I can put dinner on the table really quick. All potatoes are already microwave ready. All you need to do is just wrap them up in plastic. But if you use a smart oven or an air fryer, they're going to cook just as fast. So you can bypass the expense of these packages. You can bypass the expense of a pre-wrapped sweet potato. Just buy a regular potato or a regular sweet potato, and you can cook that yourself in either an air fryer just as quick or in the microwave. I really prefer the air fryer versus the microwave. Now over here we have the pre-bagged lettuce. I've done many videos. Be sure and check those out on which is your better choice. Down here we have these are the purples, the Yukons, the little red potatoes. These are going to give you the highest nutritional value. The young potatoes just have a higher bang for your buck as far as nutrition. They cook faster and they're creamier. Moving on, the golden is just sometimes called the Yukon. They are a very creamy potato. Idaho, they're a very dry potato, so that's why you're drowning it in sour cream and butter. Your red potatoes are a better quality because they don't burst into glucose so quickly. Your Idaho is the quickest as far as going into a glucose burst, so with diabetics, it's going to jump into sugar first. Red potato would be a better option. Anytime you're paying for your produce to be already cut up, you're paying for the convenience, so it's always going to be a higher ticket item. I say just buy the produce, buy the vegetables, buy the fruit, not cut up. You enjoy cutting it up, and then take that to your party and enjoy it. Now just for fun, we're taught to eat all of our different colors every day, and so they have this beautiful sign, which I'm totally in agreement with, but down below the sign is also your licorice, your blueberry and your watermelon licorice, and your green kettle corn and your orange chocolate covered pretzels. I don't think that's what they mean by the sign. I do want you to eat your colors every day, but I want you to bypass some of the options that are here. Now when it comes to looking at nuts or dried fruit, here's an example to show you. The clamshell is actually breaks down to $4 a pound, even though you're seeing $6.99, but that's for 12 ounces. The pre-package is actually $7 a pound. Another example of pricing is we have the organic dried cranberries are actually $6 a pound, whereas you buy them not packaged, they are $4 a pound. Now I know many of you are in a rush at times and you just want a quick dinner to put on the table. So you might find yourself in this aisle where you already have meals that have already been cooked, ready to prepare. You just have to go home and heat them up. We all have busy days. Yet realize you want to, if you're looking at these, you're comparing them to restaurant food. So you want to know, is this cheaper than just going through a drive-through? I'm not suggesting you do either one, but you know, we all have those days. So you want to look at the price points of these. If you were to go and get pasta con broccoli at a restaurant, you know, would it be the same price as this or would it be more? Typically your restaurants are higher priced than buying it here in the grocery store. because you're paying the server, you're paying for it to be heated. So if you're going to go to a restaurant, it's actually much faster and usually less expensive to buy it pre-cooked here in the grocery store. We've now moved into the seafood section, and I found a package that I really want to teach you about. So on the front we have flounder. More times than not, it is a wild caught. So it's saying on the front that it's wild caught. It's family friendly. Try it on tacos. I think family friendly means everyone's going to like the flavor because it's a very mild fish. Now it gets a little confusing when you flip it over to the back because one, the packaging is from Seattle, Washington, yet it's a product of Thailand and it's harvested in Alaska. A lot of things going on there. I would probably choose not to buy this. Another mild fish is going to be your cod. So right here again it's saying wild caught and it's saying packed in Seattle and it's coming out of Alaska. On the back, well, also it says right here product of USA. We flip it over and as the other packages are saying either Thailand or Vietnam and other countries, this one is saying nothing different. So we have to agree with it that it is a product of the USA. It is an Alaskan cod being processed in Seattle. Now one of the things you're looking for when you're buying fish is where it is a product of. So here this one tells you what country it's coming from and it also says it's farm raised. Two things we want to avoid when buying fish. Here we are in the cheese section. Now you may notice it's not pre-sliced or shredded because we don't want to buy those cheeses. Anytime you have a pre-shredded cheese, you're going to have chemicals to keep it to not clump anymore. So we're looking for cheese that we can slice ourselves or shred ourselves. Now when you're looking at all of these different cheeses, try new cheeses in your diet. These are going to be a little bit more higher price point than your pre-shredded, but you're also going to get real cheese. Now I found a delight here in this store I'm quite excited about. This here is a goat cheese. It's from this company here. I don't know how they pronounce their name, but it's so funny because one, it has the scripture on it. It says, and thou shalt have goat's milk enough from Proverbs 27:27, and it's shaped in a heart. I would so take this home and put it as a centerpiece maybe for whatever holiday you're celebrating because I just think that's adorable. When you're looking at these cheeses, take note of how they're flavoring it. This one says garden vegetable cheddar cheese. This would be a great cheese, but are they using ingredients to flavor it that agrees with what your choices are? When you see the word rennet, you have to have rennet to make cheese, so that's not a negative. Otherwise, everything in here would be a really good mix. Now when it comes to shopping meats, it's similar to buying the pre-cut up fruits and vegetables. You would rather be buying a chunk of meat and cut it up yourself if you're going to do your own stew meat or your own steaks. Now I really prefer you find a farmer and get your meat directly from a farmer. That way it's typically less price and it's also more, you can control how that cow has been raised. If I'm going to buy from the grocery store, I'm looking for organic, and when I can find it I will stock up because as the prices have been adjusted over the last couple of years on our price points with the food industry, we've had a lot, our grocery bill has gone up a lot. When it comes to ground meat, you're looking at percentages. So this is a 90%, we got a 93%, and we got an 85%. And you may think you want the highest percent of lean. Well, that's not true because we need healthy fats in our diet. To be quite honest, the best tasting ground meat is going to be your 85%. Now you'll see that over here we have a 90% sirloin versus ground beef. That's going to be a better cut. The sirloin's a better cut of meat, yet this is going to give us a more fat point, which typically people like the flavor of a higher fat. Now if we zoom all the way up to the top of this section, we see the organic at the top, and that's an 85% lean. And we have, so the company is saying no antibiotics, no added hormones, it's grass-fed. Now grass-fed can mean a couple different things, and it depends on the farmer how they did it. Grass-fed is supposed to be from the moment it is born and it's been weaned from the mom until day of butcher. It can also mean it was grass-fed up until it was moved into a feedlot and then it was fed grain. It doesn't say exclusively grass-fed, it just says grass-fed. So perhaps on the back, so grass-fed right from the start with the cattle grazing on the finest non-GMO forage. In other words, they haven't sprayed the fields with any other chemicals. Very natural ground beef, it tastes great on your plate. So this would actually be a very good purchase item to get It's at $8.99 a pound today. Prices change all the time. Still a good price point comparative to, you're getting exactly what's healthy for your family. You got the good fat level compared to the non-organic, which is only $1 less. So for the value of your health, this is worth the investment to pay the extra dollar. Well, now we're moving into the inside aisles. So realize the outside aisles are going to be your fresh food. Now we're into process. Process means that something has been done to take an original food like an oat berry and make it into an oat flake or a steel cut oat or into an oat cereal. So there's been a part of processing that has taken place to make this and fit into the interior aisles. This is because it needs to be on the shelf for a long time. So let's look at what we have here. There's a lot to be learned on pricing items. One is, where is it placed in the shelves? What you want to think about is what's at the kids' eye level. Kids' eye level is right here, or it might be right here. So we have our bright colors. Ooh, dark chocolate. Grab the kids' attention. We've got blueberries. Mom, can I have some blueberries for breakfast? So this is all about getting the kids' attention. This is about convenience. Like I told you in the beginning, it's all about real estate. This is all about real estate. So a manufacturer is going to pay less to be on the bottom than they are to be at eye level. This shelf is going to cost more to the company than the other shelves. So keep that in mind when you're shopping, because it's about impulse buys. It's about getting your attention as the shopper. The next thing I want you to notice is a good store is going to give you the price per ounce. So here we have 20.34 cents per ounce. Sometimes just looking at prices, you can't tell, well, this is $6.49 and this is $4.84. But are they really the best price? Is it the total price, or is it the price per ounce? Price per ounce is where we get the most education for buying the best product. So when we're looking at the oats here, you may get confused on the pricing. So we did a price check for you. Organic oats, just the old-fashioned oats, are 20 cents an ounce. The instant oats here, even though they're organic, they're 41 cents per ounce. The packaged oats are 62 cents per ounce. Now, just to give you a little bit of a teaching moment, steel cut oats, these are sprouted. These are just they're not flaked, they're just cut. So you take an oat berry and it's just chopped into pieces, whereas a flake has been gone through a flaker. We actually sell flakers on our website, so I'll put a link to that down below. So you're paying for processing, you're paying for added ingredients, and you're paying for convenience. But yet you could put these in your crock pot, in your Instant Pot at night, and in the morning wake up to the most incredible aroma in your kitchen with the cinnamon and the apples that you threw in the night before, and have a delicious bowl of oatmeal ready to go much faster than even throwing this in the microwave. So when you're shopping for cereals, we're in the natural food aisle, we're not in the other cereal aisle, but even still, you're looking for the protein, you're looking for fiber. Those are going to be the most important nutritional facts on the back of the package, and then you want to look at sugar. But here we have just all of the better quality foods, because this is in our natural and organic aisle. Over here we have some cauliflower chips. Those are actually very tasty to enjoy. You've got different chips here. You've got non-GMO. When you're buying chips, especially this aisle, they make it very easy for you here in the store, but you're looking for non-GMO verified. You don't have to say organic if it's non-GMO verified, because a non-GMO means no non-organic chemicals could be used on that product. So this is an entire aisle of really good choices of things to eat. We're still in the natural organic aisle, so you've got really good choices on snacks, you've got good choices on chocolates. Not every store is this good and has this good of a layout. You'll also notice we've got some sea salt, we've got some seaweed snacks, pretty much anything you can imagine they have in this store. When you're looking at those, you can also buy them pre-packaged as a set of 6, and many times the pre-packaged is the better value. Another way of looking at labels is, it says made with organic pasta. That does not mean the product is organic. It just means the pasta is. Because if you flip this over, and I've taught this on other videos as well, organic pasta, but then everything else is just your typical foods that you would see in any mac and cheese for kids. To be organic 100%, it needs to have organic as its main label. This would mean every ingredient in this mac and cheese is organic. When looking at pricing, we have to get down to the price per ounce. When we do that, we realize that the organic brown basmati rice is actually 25 cents per ounce. And at the co-ops that a lot of people buy from that are delivered either to your home or to a local home, they're selling it for 55 cents an ounce. Now this short grain brown rice is actually 18 cents an ounce. So make sure you're checking the price per ounce in comparison and not just the ticket at the end. As I shared earlier, the end caps are where companies spend a lot of money to get your attention. So here we have the Stonewall Kitchen. I've been to their store up in the Northeast, and it is a delicious store to go to and to visit. They have a lot of good quality foods. Typically, you will find good ingredients in what they are serving. So beautiful display, and this is why they are here, is because they paid for the extra value real estate. Now this aisle is all about specials. Sometimes the foods that are in this aisle is not something I want you to be enjoying, but then they always have somewhere in your store a discount section. So it usually looks a little bit like people have gone through it, which they have. But what we found here is you have fresh markdowns. We found a really good buy in here. At first we saw the small package of spinach, it's only $1. And then we found down here Organic Girl, so you have the much larger package. This also is just $1. Make sure when you're buying the clamshells you flip it over and you can see if there's any mold on there, if there's any decaying of the leaves, if they started turning yellow, or if there's anything that just doesn't look good to buy. These look really good. We actually grabbed a couple of them ourselves, but $1 for this package is a really good buy. So now we're here at the tortilla aisle, and you're gonna find such a variety. It used to just be a corn tortilla or a wheat tortilla, and that was your only options. Well, now we have all of these flavorings that have also been introduced, even the cauliflower. I did try these. They're very interesting tasting, but realize what you see in the store, you can also learn to make on your own. So we are looking for high fiber and no artificial colors, and vegan is okay. So looking at the ingredients, we've got the water, we've got cauliflower flour, which means the cauliflower was dehydrated and then powdered into a flour, modified food starch, rice flour, canola oil. So you see a lot of xanthan gum, you see a lot of other ingredients. Although it looks like a good idea on the front, when you look at the ingredients, it's actually not as good as you would hope for. And then another one that caught my attention is the spinach one. Gluten-free, so people who are going gluten-free would find this to be, oh, that's exactly what I need. I need a tortilla. This has got spinach, it's got high fiber, this would be a good one. Until you flip it over and you're reading the ingredients, and then once again you've got the MSG, but you also have the soybean oil, which is a GMO, but you have sucralose. You do not want sucralose in any food at all that you buy in the store. That is a chemical sweetener. It's to bring a flavor to this so that you would like it, but too many ingredients. So yes, both of these look good on the front, but I would not buy either one of them. Here we are in the tea section. I've done a video at great length to explain to you all of the different teas, which ones you need for different health benefits, and how to shop for teas. So today I'm just going to give you just a brief overview. We are looking for organic. Any tea that you buy, no matter if it's an herb tea or a green tea or a black tea, it does need to be organic. Now something else is you can kind of teach yourself by just reading the packages in the tea aisle, because this one called Tea Pigs, don't ask me why it's called Tea Pigs. Many times we can just learn about tea by reading the packages. So this one's talking about the packaging. So make sure you understand they're talking packaging. So the packaging is made from plant starch. Then the bag is not, it looks like plastic, but it's not. Many of these tea bags in these samples that you have here are either made from plastic or they're made from an ingredient that is something you don't want to have steeping into your water, such as it could be made from corn or it could be made from soybean. So this is why it's very important to not only have an organic tea, but the bags need to also be certified organic. The best option is always going to be loose leaf, and in this store, this is what they have, is the matcha, which is a very healthy tea to have. It is a caffeinated tea, so keep that in mind, but we're looking for the finely ground tea leaves. So matcha is a great option. Being in a tin can is also a better option, so therefore we're not having to worry about the packaging, and there's no tea bag to be concerned about either. So this would be a very good option to buy here. The coffee aisle is very similar to what I just shared in the tea aisle. We have to buy organic because of the amount of rodenticides, pesticides, fungicides that are used on the coffee beans. Same is true if you're buying it in a bag or in a container, or if you're doing the Keurig. Even the containers, these plastic served containers, they have chemicals in them. So if you can find the reusable Keurig where you just pour in the powder or the coffee grains, then you would actually get a more healthier coffee to drink. So must be organic and must be 100% organic, even the container. No, that would be a no. We're not doing cookies today, and especially Oreo. And I don't really have to teach you a whole lot about why we're not doing this entire aisle of cookies, but mostly it's because, nope, that would be a no too. Good try. Because of the ingredients. I want to teach you how to make your own cookies, get your own ingredients, mill your own grain, and your body will say, yes, that would be a good idea. And she's still trying to get the Oreos, and it's still a no. Caramel, coconut, yeah, no. No to the Oreos, and no to the others. I'll teach you how to make good cookies. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. So now we're in the juice aisle. Realize juice is more of a dessert. We do not have to have juice in our diet. It doesn't bring us any nutritional value. It's just a flavored drink. Many times you're going to find the juice is going to have just a very high sugar content. So just to show you this label here, per serving, which is 8 ounces, we're getting 80 calories, but all of the calories are coming from the sugar. We're not getting anything of value. This is the vitamin C, that even though it says you're getting 100%, no, the vitamin C, this is a heated drink. It has to be pasteurized. All of the vitamin C has been killed. So these are just flavorings for your meals, but they're not a nutritional food product. They're more of a dessert with no value. Here we are in the canned section. So we got the canned vegetables. We'll even move down into the canned tomatoes and the canned fruit. Be careful when you're buying canned foods. Be sure and check out my video about canned foods and BPA lining. If it doesn't say BPA free, then you need to pass on it and find one that is BPA free. Like right up here, we've got non-BPA lining. This is very important because I talk about it in my other video in more depth about how it interferes with the IQ of your children and their ability to function and to focus. And we have a lot of issues with that going on right now. So if you're going to buy canned foods, make sure it's a non-BPA lining. But what I would prefer is if you were back in the produce aisle, getting the foods straight like they're grown, right, exactly how God raised them, and you're just putting them on the plate like they are. So if you can avoid canned foods, that would be excellent. Now, I do use canned tomatoes though. In that case, I'm trying to buy organic as much as possible, and it does have to be, again, the non-BPA lining. So here we are in the bean section. Your best value, if you're saying, Annette, my budget is too tight, I just can't afford everything you're suggesting, then you're going to need to go to the dried beans. I have dried beans in each one of my prepper containers because it's a food that I can satisfy my family well. Not only the beans, but you also have the lentils. Lentils are so satisfying. In fact, my recipe in the Healthy Treasures cookbook for the lentil salad, oh, that is one of my favorite meals to eat. I also have a wild rice bean salad in there. Oh, so good. So these are going to be your best price point. So if you're on a tight budget or if you just want to save money, then buy them dried. What you're going to get out of this big bag of pinto beans is like 10 cans of these products up here. So yes, organic would be good, BPA free, all of that, no preservatives, but yet just cooking them yourself. You could throw them in the crock pot the night before, let them cook overnight. The next day you wake up, your beans are done, they're ready to be added into any recipe. You've saved money, you've gained nutrition, and it's just a win-win. Now we're in the oils, and the bottom shelf is where you're going to find your cheapest, but these oils should not be used for cooking or for consumption. If you want to use them for some other purpose, that's fine, but do not add these into your food for cooking, or even the vegetable oils for frying or the Crisco oil. What you want to use is you want to move into the grapeseed oil. You want to look for the fruit oil. So that's your grapeseed oil, your olive oil, and even your avocado oils. Those are the oils you want to go for. Once you determine that, we then need to find, okay, where is the best product? And that gets a little tricky because it changes all of the time. So I'm just going to pull this one off the shelf. So they're saying it is organic. They're talking about the acidity, so that's a good number there. They're saying it's 100% product of Italy. I want my oil to be from one country, not a combination of 3 countries. They're giving us a best used by date, and sometimes they will even give us a harvest date. I'm not seeing the harvest date on this, so I'm not really sure. And it was imported through New Jersey. That's no benefit. Cold extracted, that's also a good point that you want to find on your olive oil. So this would be a good option. It's a dark bottle that also is going to preserve the oil to keep it from going rancid. Now, I also teach in the Treasures of Healthy Living Bible Study that you are to puncture a vitamin E capsule, put it in your olive oil, and it will keep it from going rancid as well. So we have good options here, but just read the label. You want it from one country, you want an expiration date, and if possible, a date of harvest. That also would be a good benefit. Now, flax oil is really more of a health food than a cooking food, so you don't want to use it for that. Ghee is both a cooking and a health benefit, so these would be good options too. Many times the price point can be too much for people. So this is the oil section, and just really pay attention to what you're getting and what you're using in your home. Now here we are in the spice section. Now spices are categorized in alphabetical order. So if you've ever been trying to figure out where's the cumin, then you need to realize everything's by alphabet. So you're going to start at the top with the allspice, and then you're going to go down through the alphabet until you get to the letter. Organics many times will go on sale. Now, Wild Harvest is kind of new to the grocery store. They used to just be a direct selling company, and now they've reached out into the broad spectrum of the grocery stores. And they are a very good brand to choose from. I've used those. I've used some Spice Islands when they are organic, and then I've also used some McCormick if they're organic as well. But growing your own spices and dehydrating them is always going to be your best option. And then don't buy more than what you need. You don't want a jar of spices to be in your cabinet for 6 years. No, it should only be 6 months to 1 year max. So don't buy more than what you're going to use in a short time period. So now we're in the salt section, and salt is important. We have to have salt in our diet. It keeps our fluid levels balanced. It keeps our ability to just focus and to stay hydrated. So this is a brand I wanted to point out to you. It's called Himalayan Salt Refillable Shaker. But then on the ingredients, it says contains no anti-caking agents or additives. That's a big deal. So this would be a great quality to buy, and it's got the pink substance to it, so I kind of like that. So this is a very good option. When it comes to cake mixes, again, use my cookbook, use my recipes to make your own cakes out of real flour, real sweeteners, even some of the date recipes that I have. Throw in your own fruit, throw in your own cocoa powder. I didn't see cocoa powder here in the store. They might sell it, but having a good dark organic cocoa powder to put in and make your own brownies. I have great recipes for how to make your own brownies, and oh, they're so loaded with nutrition, you're going to love them. And when it comes to adding flavor to your pancakes or whatever you're cooking, we have the syrups. Always be on the lookout at your maple syrups because you will find them go on sale. You can see these are all marked down, so go ahead and grab them when you see them marked down. That is a really good price point. This is another end cap, so it's sharing with you everything you can use as a topping for your salad. What caught my attention was the artichoke hearts. So what they're showing with you is they're non-GMO. It's not a food that is a GMO food, but when it says non-GMO, it means no chemicals can be used on the processing of that food. That is what the law requires. What we want to do is look at the back. So we see the ingredients are artichoke hearts, water, salt, and a citric acid. Citric acid is not bad. It's just part of what they have to put in a canned product so that it doesn't change color, and you open it up and it looks ashen or gray or black, which is what happens in the canning process. Citric acid just helps the food to maintain its color. Just something fun I wanted to share with you. You have the Kingsford, and you have the different brands of charcoal. Charcoal is a prepper item. If you have several bags of this, you can cook whenever the power is out or you don't have any gas for your stove or any of your camp stoves. This can be stored for as many years as possible, and it always can be used to cook with. Well, here in the nut butter section, nut butters are a really good food to have on hand. In fact, I have nut butter in every one of my containers for my prepper supplies because it stores well as long as it hasn't been opened, and it's high protein and good fat, and you will always be able to satisfy your family. Now we have a quite arrangement of different varieties of nut butters here. We've got them flavored such as goober grape, and we've got them unflavored, a lot of different varieties. What you're looking for is going to be on the back label. This one is saying honey almond butter, so we should have 2 ingredients, honey and almonds. So if I look on the back and I see the ingredients, we've got dry roasted almonds, we've got a palm oil, we've got organic honey, organic powdered sugar, and some tapioca starch and some sea salt. The tapioca starch is to keep its consistency, to make it creamy and help it to stay creamy and not separate. Obviously the honey is for the sweetener flavor, but they also added a cane sugar as well, and you're going to want salt. You're not going to eat this without salt, so there's nothing wrong with having salt. Some people have differing opinions about palm oil. Palm oil is not a bad oil, but most people who understand palm oil realize even though it has an omega-6 content to it, it's coming from areas where the rainforest and things like that, so they don't like it for that reason. So there's good and bad about palm oil. I'll let you decide where you want to land on that. So Justin's is typically a good quality, good variety. You have other ones such as the sun butter, organic sunflower butter. I love sunflower butter. So here our ingredients are just organic roasted sunflower seeds, period. That's it. That's unusual to find in a sunflower butter, so this would be a really good one to buy. You've got 100% peanuts here in this one, non-GMO. Peanuts are not a GMO crop. Once again, we're trying to make sure nothing else has been added to it. Now this one you're going to have to stir because the oil has separated and risen to the top. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just something you have to do. But the only ingredients is peanuts. Actually, not even any salt. So you're going to need a salt shaker with this one. Typically you'll have peanuts and salt, so you may find this to be a little bit bland flavored, but it still just sprinkle it with a little salt when you serve it. So that's how you want to look for it. So if you're going for some of the almond butters or some of the traditional peanut butters, let me show you one over here. So this one, we have Skippy, we've got reduced fat. So what they've done is after it's separated, they removed a lot of the fat. Fat is not your enemy. So you're looking for, the fat content here is 12 grams, cholesterol 0, that's fine. Sodium is low, carbs are 14, but carbs is not a bad carb. But it says we have sugar, and then we have protein is 7. So if we look at the ingredients, quite a list of ingredients that I would not buy this product because of. So we've got roasted peanuts, we've got a corn syrup right there. Once I saw that, I would put it back on the shelf, right where it was, and then walk away. I do not want that in my peanut butter. When you're shopping with the preserves, the jams, the jellies, and the honeys, you're looking for as few ingredients as possible, and you're looking for no added sweeteners that are fake. So here we have Simply Fruit, made from real fruit, red raspberries. We flip it over, we read the ingredients, fruit syrup, red raspberries, we got pectin, that's okay, lemon juice, that's to contain its color, natural flavors. Well, we don't really know what natural flavors is. It could be real fruit or food flavors, or it could be something that we are unsure of. Be careful with some of your low sugar because sometimes they've added artificial sweeteners. So we look at the back and we've got strawberries, we've got sugar, we've got fruit pectin, and then we've got bean gum. That's to make it give a creamy texture, but it does no value for you or for your gut. We got vegetable juice, that's to keep its color, and we have calcium chloride. So this would not be a product I would want to buy. It's trying to draw the attention of people who are diabetic, but if you're diabetic, there's other ways of getting a good fruit sauce on your food, and I would just take some blueberries, blend them up with a drop of honey, and you'd have a much better, much healthier option. Honey, we see right up here, we're looking for, organic is a good word, but I'm looking for local honey. So if you can find local honey, that's always your best option. Be looking for that as you're driving around town and driving throughout the countryside, you will find them. Other than that, we want unfiltered. On the other side of peanut butters and jams and jellies, you're going to see all of your sauces, all of your condiments. So we start with barbecue sauce. Once again, we're looking for no artificial flavorings, no Splenda, no aspartame, no sweet and low. One of the food items everyone needs to have in their home at all times, that would be vinegar. Always have one of the big bottles, the cheap bottles down at the bottom. Their price varies depending on what store you're in. Sometimes you'll find them for a lower price. That is just good to have as a cleaning purpose. If someone is sick, you can disinfect with that. We also use it as to get rid of weeds in the yard and sometimes with bugs. Next is we want vinegar. So vinegar, if we have it in our pantry, we can always make a salad dressing anytime we want. And it's a salad dressing that's actually going to build the microbiome in the digestive system. So then we're looking at, okay, well, which is my best one? Typically, I've used Bragg's for my entire life, but also notice here, so their regular price, actually it's on sale for $5.99, but yet this one, the Wild Harvest, has the exact same ingredients. It's certified organic, yet it's on sale for $4.99. So always be looking for, actually not on sale, that's their everyday price. So be watching your price points and be willing to change companies if someone has a better price, even if you have fallen in love with a company. When it comes to mustard, when I was growing up, we had mustard. Now we have like 50 varieties of mustard. Realize you can vary the flavor of your mustard just with your own ingredients in your home, and it will save you more than half the amount of money. So regular mustard, you're talking $1.89. Flavored, you're at $3.19, $6.29. So realize you can add in your own flavorings and come up with some delicious recipes. Now, I would probably grab this organic Dijon mustard. I like that price point, and I like how it tastes. But then again, make your own variety, make your own flavor, and your family will love you. When it comes to salad dressings, once again, it's kind of like the mustards where I said a lot of different flavors have been added in. Again, the same thing happens with salad dressings. There are so many ingredients that are being added to create such a different flavor, a different bliss effect in your mouth. The only thing we need for salad dressing is our own vinegar, our own balsamic vinegar, and our own olive oil. If you have those ingredients at home, and if you want to add a touch of your own mustard to it, if you want to add a touch of your own, maybe a little bit of yogurt to it to make it a creamy sauce, or your own herbs, you can make so many different salad dresses on your own just by having 4 key ingredients, which is vinegar, olive oil, maybe some balsamic, and then your herbs. Many people grew up eating pickles, and my grandma made the very best pickles ever. Yet we want more of the pickle to be a fermented. This is basically my favorite brand. It's called Bubby's. You can get the kosher dill pickles. You can typically even get the sauerkraut by Bubby's because it's a fermented pickle. It's not a vinegar pickle. It makes all of the difference in the world for your gut. So if you look at the ingredients, we just have cucumbers, water, salt, garlic, dill, some spices, the mustard seed. And so the calcium dichloride is not dichloride, but calcium chloride is just a preservative. And so this is going to help with your microbiome, it's going to help with your gut, and it tastes good. The aisle that we're in now is the canned meats, the tunas, the sauces, the gravies, the rice, potatoes, the box dinners, all of that. So I just want to breeze through here for you. Canned meats, canned tuna in the water or in the oil. Most people avoided the oil because of the calories, but we need oil in our diet. Tuna in the oil is best for prepping because your family's going to need fats in their diet when we're in a prepping situation, so I always stock up on that. I also will grab the canned salmon. Moving down the aisle, you see we have all our spice packets. This can really drive up your cost in the grocery store. If you just have key spices in your spice cabinet and key herbs, and maybe you're growing some in the garden, you don't need to buy any of these packages because you pay more for the package than if you just buy the spice yourself. So moving down, we have the instant potatoes. Again, you're going to be paying more because they're kind of pre-cooked. They're already pre-seasoned. So here we have the potatoes. They're already pre-packaged. They're already pre-cooked. They're very quick to make, but yet again, you're letting a company determine what ingredients you're going to have in your family's diet. And it's not just about our meal tonight or today, it's about what is this going to do for our health in years to come. So get the potatoes yourself, have your own seasonings, your own spices in your cabinet, and you can make this yourself in a much healthier fashion. Now on the other side across from us, we have all of the pastas. Now this is where it gets very interesting when you start price pointing it by price per ounce. In fact, we found some really good buys today on the Barilla whole spaghetti versus the whole grain spaghetti price point. They were very similar. One was on sale for $1.50, which is 10 cents an ounce. So just be very smart about shopping that by the per ounce. Now you can go to organic, and that would be good if you can afford it. Sometimes I'm not 100% organic just because of the price point. Can you afford organic and everything? But if you're not going to buy organic, then choose one that has better ingredients. The whole grain is going to have a little bit better than the white rice, the white flour. When it comes to rice, your best value is going to be the one that's not at eye level. It's that big bag of jasmine rice. Now, jasmine is not as processed as white rice, but yet it has great flavor to it. Whereas you come over here, you've got the long grain enriched rice. So of the two, the jasmine is my better purchase for my health. Above that, we have some more of our organics. Rice doesn't have to be organic, because if you buy a good quality rice, you're not going to get the high arsenic level. But don't let anyone tell you there's no arsenic on any rice, because there is. You always have a small amount. But organic, they're trying to get it to where it has a lesser amount of arsenic. And your body can process a few heavy metals, but not a lot. So just have rice once or twice a week versus every day, and choose a better quality, which is, you've got the Riceland brown rice there. It's organic or non-GMO. And then you got the basmati. So when you are looking at these that are already pre-mixed, pre-flavored, you're going to pay more. So buy the rice, cook it yourself. Actually cook up a lot of rice at one time, throw it in the freezer, and I put it in 2-cup servings in little freezer Ziploc bags or my Space Saver bags, and then it's always ready to go, and I have an instant meal. Now here we have the sauces. They're pretty much going to be very similar in ingredients and also in flavor. There's not a lot of variety. So this is one time I will go ahead and buy the organic, because some stores the price for organic is pretty much the same as other stores' regular price. And I do want organic in this category. So you can really make your own if you're growing your own tomatoes, but for most people, especially if you're busy like I am, that's just a lot of work. Or again, use your own ingredients, your own extra ingredients, and flavor it up yourself. Instead of paying a higher price for a spaghetti sauce, buy the cheaper organic one, and then add your own seasonings to flavor it up. You're going to see in the grocery store, the area of the store which I haven't bought from actually since 2003, and I want to share with you why. Although these were very convenient for making casseroles and things like that, I'm looking at the ingredients. So we see water, we see potatoes. Modified food starch is not what I want in my foods. We've got a wheat flour. And then we have soybean oil, dehydrated onions, yeast extract. So MSG can be very detrimental to brain cells, to being able to function, things like that, but it becomes more of an accumulative factor. So with one can of soup, no, you're going to be okay, but if you continue to eat these foods over a period of time, a period of years, it will have an effect on your health. So as we breeze down this aisle and we see all of the different soups, I always bypass it. It's not a food that I want to buy. I want to make my own. I want to control the ingredients that are going in the food that I serve to my family. So just kind of breeze by this. But it will always bring us to the broth. Now here's where I really want to hang out, because organic broth is worth its money in buying. So if you ever see it on sale, you might want to stock up on it. Better than that, make it yourself. Make your own chicken broth, your own vegetable broth. You would make this just by storing the scraps of vegetables, the stems and the skins and all of that you have cut off your vegetables as you clean them, threw it in the freezer until you had a big bag, and then make your own vegetable broth for free. So you'd be saving yourself, $4, making your own chicken broth. So if I buy a whole chicken, an organic chicken, then I would then turn that into a chicken broth. From that broth, I would then make all of these soups that you see on this aisle, but I'm controlling the ingredients, therefore I'm controlling the health of my family. Well, thanks for letting me share with you how to shop the grocery store. Put in the comments down below, what did you learn from this? And what tips are you already doing? And give yourself a check mark for doing it. I just always want to share with you how to enjoy, how to celebrate God's recipe for excellent health. Thanks for watching.